Referees, umpires, and officials are ruining sports as we know it with these awful calls that almost feel like they're rigging the game. I'm going to break down how each sport, the major ones, at least the ones that I know that have a ton of problems, and explain to you how they can fix it and what their major problems are. Starting NBA or basketball, however you want to see it, their major issue is technical fouls. Their referees seem like they are power hungry a little bit too much, as they will call a technical foul on you for clapping too loud, or talking to a fan, or looking at them funny. I mean, they will call a technical foul no matter what. I think the only realistic way that the NBA can fix this is by taking some of that power away and redefining what is a technical foul and what's not. I think, honestly, this is a major issue, and they need to fix it to where the technical fouls aren't just being called for any little thing the referees don't like. And I think that will be the best way for them to fix this problem. Now, granted, obviously, you need them to still follow this. Case in point, last year with the NFL and the reviews on PI calls, and them never actually getting reversed because no referee's going to reverse himself. But I think in a very similar light, this is where this case is, and you got to be able to define that as it's got to be something egregious, something deserving of a technical foul. Elbowing a player or something of that nature is what needs to be the penalty, not just whatever the referee wants it to be. And that's the only way to fix it. And next up we got... I can make every baseball fan angry with two names, Angel Hernandez and Joe West. Those two guys are so bad at calling balls, strikes, and anything else. They have driven the integrity of baseball down, and they're not the only ones. There is literally one guy right now that has my respect as an umpire, and his name is Pat Hogberg, or Hoberg, however you pronounce his last name. I don't even know. That just tells you anything. But he was the guy who did the perfect game in the World Series, and that guy deserves a medal for doing so. First one ever to be done. Congratulations. But otherwise, balls and strikes are the biggest problem in baseball because you can't review them. You can review anything else, and it will be overturned because it's not being done by the umps in that game in that particular moment. So in my opinion, the best way to fix this is robot umpires. I know a lot of baseball fans, especially the older ones who've been in this game for a long time, do not like the thought of robot umps. But if we're going to get mad about these umpires missing balls and strikes as they get older and their vision starts going out, I mean, I'm only 25 and I still have issues at points figuring out certain things. Like, I've noticed my reflexes have gotten slower. We're talking about a guy in his 50s in Angel Hernandez, and Joe West is like 70. I mean, come on now. So, in my opinion, the best way to do this is fix it by robot umps. If we want the balls and strikes to be counted as close to perfect as you can get, or just have Pat do every single game. That's not going to happen. So I think this is the only real way to fix this. And next up we got... The NFL seems rigged by how the umpires and officials referee these games. It is so bad that it really does seem like they're betting on these games, including this egregious roughing the passer calls like this just cannot happen. Jerome Bogaerts needs put into a retirement home because these type of calls cannot just keep happening. This is egregious, and it hasn't just changed the outcome of this one game. It has changed the outcome of the season. That is changing a whole line of things. The Buccaneers are now in the playoffs. They have clinched their division, and if they had lost that game like they probably should have, they wouldn't have clinched. They would still be nearly out. The Falcons, there we go, could not think of the word, will still be within this mix of making a playoff push. But that one call screwed them over. And it's not the only one. Those roughing the passer calls happen weekly. There was another one this last week against the Cowboys and the Titans, and it was bad. And it's changing games. All these terrible roughing the passer calls, one after another after another. On top of all that, we got to talk about how bad PI is. Pass interference is one of the worst calls anybody can make. In my opinion, the best way to fix pass interference is to eliminate it being out wherever the ball would have been. Because let's be real here, if I was an offensive coordinator, I needed a huge chunk play, I would just tell my quarterback to underthrow the ball, receiver to dart back, the runner run into him, it'll mess up the whole play. So the best way to fix pass interference, in my opinion, is to make it a 10 to 15 yard penalty. So it might happen a little bit less and try to, like, I don't know. I don't like it when the ball is definitely not catchable and it's a pass interference. If the ball is not catchable, it's not pass interference. You can't make pass interference on that pass. So I think personally the best way is to make it to where the ball has to be catchable. Yeah, some more judgment calls, yeah. But there's no real way to fix pass interference better. And I think it should be a 10 to 15 yard penalty instead of could be all the way up to a 50, 70 yard penalty. I mean, Josh Allen could chuck the ball as far as he can. So it could be a 70 yard penalty. I mean, that is a problem in my opinion. So I think that's the best way to fix it. And if we're talking about roughing the passer, I think the best way to fix it is stop protecting the quarterback so hard. Like, yes, we need to keep them healthy. We need to keep them on the field. But if we are sitting out here making calls like this and screwing over teams, then maybe we need to reevaluate. I personally think the whole wait on the quarterback is a dumb thing. Because you're going to land on the quarterback. I mean, especially nowadays when you got people like Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, who are squirrely and will scramble and will make a big play out of it. You need to wrap up and tackle, so landing on him's gonna just happen. It's human nature. That penalty needs to not exist. 2, I think we really need to take it out of the umpires' things. Redefine the rule to make it as simple as possible and make it as little amount of judgment calls you can physically get. That is the only way you're going to fix this problem, and I still don't think it's going to work. The NFL's got a huge issue, and they need to start replacing some of these old referees. Joe Bogarts, or whatever his name is, doesn't need to be reffing anymore. NASCAR has a major officialing issue due to the fact that they think that they're an entertainment instead of a sport. Sports are entertaining on their own. You don't need to make it more entertaining with phantom debris cautions, phantom rain cautions. And what happened at this going 180 miles per hour into a corner that is raining, NASCAR just cannot let these calls just happen. They have to be called as what they are. They are a caution, a red flag. They need to stop this ASAP. Unacceptable and will hurt people. So NASCAR Tower and officialing and all that stuff has to get better, because if they keep letting that occur, it's going to lead to a massive injury. Or worse, death, as that has happened in this motorsport before. So I think personally the only way this is to fix is NASCAR to grow a brain. I mean, that's really it. And stop throwing phantom cautions, phantom rain cautions, because those have happened in the past where they'll throw a phantom, it's wet in the corner in a road course race to make the race closer. I don't really care who wins the race. If the guy who dominated the whole race wins the race, he deserved it. Who cares about the other outcomes? But NASCAR does, because they think they're in entertainment. NASCAR needs to get their headspace in the right place to make their officiating better. And the incident at Daytona, you just need to open your freaking eyes, because everybody in the stands could see that it was raining. Put out the caution already, man. Like, what are we doing here? And I don't think there's much that NASCAR can do to fix this without just growing a brain, because these decisions are all dumb. They're just dumb. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, these are my ideas that might be able to fix refereeing, officialing, all that good stuff in sports. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next